Okay, guys, this is a Big Ten game now. Washington and Michigan State. First, I'll point you over to my page. I've got 3 college basketball plays locked in as of right now. One of them is a 4% top rated best bet, which is up for sale on my page. I may add, because these Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday slates are big. A lot of teams playing at the same time. So I'm going to look for a little bit more volume. I might not be done adding today, and you can get all of those on the one day pass, or more importantly, just grab the rest of the season and cash with me right through, March Madness and the NCAA championship game. But we're going to talk about Washington, Michigan State, and this is an interesting. It's interesting that Washington pops up in this spot, because I did a breakdown of Washington UCLA, which was I think over a month ago at this point, and I kind of said, at some point you're going to have to bet on Danny Sprinkle, and you're going to have to bet on Gray Osborne, that they're going to start to figure it out, and more importantly, Sprinkle as a coach. I said that ahead of the UCLA Washington game. So however many weeks ago that was, and the reason I bring that up, it was the same sort of like Washington on the road, or Washington catching double digits type setup. I believe they were a 12.5 point favorite in that, or underdog in that game, and they covered the number. Go back to Washington's last game. They're getting more competitive. Washington, they're not winning all of these games yet, but they're getting more competitive. I thought they played great on Sunday against Illinois. That game was tied with a minute left. And, for me, I'm still looking at, spots to buy Danny Sprinkle and Washington, because I know how good Sprinkle has been in the past. And it just makes sense that he's going to start to get the effort that he expects, the execution that he expects. And I think it's going to make Washington a good bet against the number. We saw it over the weekend against Illinois. I think we probably see it again here. Michigan State's a rightful favorite in this game, but 14.5, even 14 where he is now, that is a large premium, in my opinion, to have to lay with Michigan State, essentially for beating Ohio State in a primetime spot last Friday. I think if this game occurred before that Ohio State game, and Ohio State wasn't necessarily coming into that game in a good spot for them, I think this game occurs prior to that, we're probably looking at 11.5, 12.5. Instead, you're looking at 14.5, which is, again, kind of crazy to me, considering Washington just showed us they could hang with Illinois over the weekend. So, metrics-wise, I don't have these two teams that far off. Certainly, Michigan State is better defensively. You could argue that Michigan State's got a top 10 defense if looking at the metrics, but Washington's still probably in the top 80. And, Michigan State offense, where they rate out, Washington they're definitely behind them, but they're not that far behind. I know you've got the Breslin Center here. I've been to a Thursday night Breslin Center conference game. It'll probably be sold out. It's a great atmosphere. But I just don't think all of those things add up to Michigan State being a 2-touchdown favorite here. So I like Washington. I don't know if the Huskies get it done and get the upset win here, but I certainly think that they can hang within the number. 14.5 seems like an awful lot. I'll take the Huskies plus the points.